Alright, if anyone's not showing up, fuck them. We hate them. Hey there, and welcome to Trivia Ronin. I'm your host, Douglas Larlam. Whether you're joining us live on Zoom or Twitch, or after the fact on YouTube, welcome. We're happy to have you. Quick breakdown of the rules. 1, we're honor code here. You keep your own score. Feel free to cheat. You get nothing. 2, after each question, you'll get 45 seconds to answer. Absolutely do not show your answer until the time is up. That's specifically for you, Danny, because everyone can see your answers. 3, if you're watching on Twitch, due to the delay, drop your answer in the chat at about 5 seconds left on the time clock. That lines up with us live. Tonight there are 30 questions, 1 point each, and a story question at the end worth 20 points for a total of 50 points, and maybe some bonus opportunities sprinkled in. Llama Selick, he got it. Seth, give yourself 1,000 points. Good job, man. That's the Twitch audience. And let's play Trivia Ronin. Question 1. Upon his arrival in D.C. in 2011, what newly elected senator moved in with his congressman father, Ron? Upon his arrival, 45 seconds again. Yeah, 37 left. Upon his arrival in D.C. in 2011, what newly elected senator moved in with his congressman father, Ron? Doug's drinking coffee tonight. He drank wine last night, and it put him to sleep. Bernie. Feel the burn. You guys gonna write Bernie Sanders now? Wait, was that a clue? 3, 2, 1. Show me. Yeah. Rand Paul. Ron Paul's son, Rand Paul. I didn't set up the next question. Should have. Rand Paul was the answer. Question 2. Used to describe carefree lifestyle, bohemian refers to an area in what modern-day country? This is a 2-pointer. I was supposed to write for 2 points. Used to describe a carefree lifestyle, bohemian refers to an area in what modern-day country? It's a tougher one, I think. It's just not a country most people ever think about. And that's a shame. They've been through a lot. Oh, time. We'll call it 15 seconds. Doug's getting into the groove. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Show me. France, Morocco, France, Syria, Iraq. You could have said any of those or none of them, and you'd still have a chance. It's Czech Republic. It is the Czech your ego at the door republic. That's what I call it. Used to test question 3 now. Used to test vision. The Snellen eye chart typically has what bold single letter in the top row? I wouldn't know this. I have perfect vision, so there. I do know this, though, because I wrote the question. Well, I haven't had a reason to look at the fucking chart. But yes, that is a really good point. 25 seconds. Danny, as a resident glasses wearer, are you 100% on this? Yeah, good work. That's the right level of confidence. Also, is that 88 keys behind you? 62. Hey, there's nothing wrong with 62. 62 is plenty. 3, 2, 1. Talk to me. Yeah, yep. You guys were clean sweep. It is an E. It is it's emboldened. Question 4. The term sesquicentennial, by the way, if you've ever done our trivia before, this goes back months now, but the term sesquicentennial refers to how many years. This is the second time I've used sesquicentennial. The term sesquicentennial refers to how many years. The last time I asked this question, it was what year would have celebrated its sesquicentennial this year, so I made you do math. How many years is a sesquicentennial? I like questions where it's kind of like, oh, but whatever, I'll say this. I like that. Is anybody 100% confident in this one? Oh, nice. Julia is 100% confident. Let's see it. 600, 700, 600, 650. It is 150. 2 people got it. Oh, I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed right now. I was about to make such a big deal about Julia being one of them. Julia, we love you so much here at Trivia Ronin. We just want you to win every week. Question 5. What state's nickname is the Hoosier State? 45 seconds. What state's nickname is the Hoosier State? "12 seconds. I feel so weird. I'm going to talk to all of you privately during this. Just personally touch base with your lives during trivia. 3, 2, 1. Indiana is correct. That's 5 questions. Is anybody 5-4 right now? 5 for 5? No? But with the bonus, is anybody 5? Yeah, okay. Joe's 5 for 5 with the bonus. Question 6. What are the first letters of all the colors of the rainbow in order of temperature, starting with coolest? Best question I've written. What are the first letters of all the colors of the rainbow in order of temperature, starting with the coolest? Yes. Correct. I mean, color temperature and heat temperature are identical in this regard. Yep. What are the first letters of all the colors of the rainbow in order of temperature, starting with coolest? And now I've got questions about my answer. But I hope I got it right. 3, 2, 1. Starting with the... Okay. So starting with the warmest, it should be Roy G. Biv. Starting with the coolest, it should be Vib G. Yor. Now, talk to me. Oh, you're saying because of... I'm sorry, yeah. So it's the exact opposite. I did that wrong. Now I don't know. No, that's not... I think no matter what you wrote, as long as you got those letters, I'm going to have to give it to you. But you're absolutely right. I was thinking more... I was saying temperature, not of heat temperature, but I was saying temperature of color temperature. Like... Right. Right. To mean it is hotter. Right. So I'm saying I was saying the coolest visual temperature. I was saying like color temperature, but I was wrong because going the opposite direction would be physical temperature. Would be the coolest, would be Roy. Would be R. Unless I'm very wrong. I'm glad my face isn't there on screen. Violet in this one, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. The colors of the rainbow, Roy G. Biv. But I was going the opposite way. Anyway, question 7. we're going to call that an all pass for all people. It was my favorite question, and I didn't think that I had a way of screwing it up. Question 7, what is 11, basically, what is 11 over 2 as a percentage? I'm trying to do a little Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader on this one. I did quite a few this week of little more Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? 11 over 2 as a percentage. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. 550, not 500. It's going to be 550. That additional 1. Question 8. Uruguay borders which ocean? I love that it's a country on our Earth, and we don't know which of basically one or the other ocean it borders. That's right. We've got a Paraguays that we're talking about. Four, 3, 2, 1. Well, bad news for all people who wrote Pacific. I'll tell you that one just like it's actually the Arctic. Atlantic Ocean. He said Arctic jokingly. Question 9. On the periodic table, what tells you how many protons are in the nucleus of an atom? I feel like Casey's my horse on this one for sure. Because Casey corrected me a couple days ago when I accidentally said nitrogen for hydrogen. That's how I know. On the periodic table, what tells you how many protons are in the nucleus of an atom? Trace, let's see it. The big left number is the actual, that's the technical term, yep. The atomic number is the atomic number is what I was looking for. I liked your answer better, but unfortunately the atomic is what we were looking for. Question 10, last of round 1. In Norse mythology, who is the chief god and ruler of the Aesir? In Norse mythology, who is the chief god and ruler of the Aesir? In Norse mythology? That would. I mean, listen. Give yourself the point if you think you got it. Give yourself 2. This is Trivia Ronin, baby. I want everyone to feel like a winner. But seriously, I really only want the winner to feel that way. Yeah. Games are made up and the points don't matter. Let's see him. Yeah. Odin is the answer. We're looking for Odin. Thor, Odin's son, would be the son of the person we're talking about. But Odin is the answer. Okay, guys. Yeah, Question 1 of round 2. In what form of transportation was the earliest recorded successful form of manned flight? 45 seconds. In what form of transportation was the earliest recorded successful form of manned flight? And you know who the first person was? Tom Selleck. People don't know that. He needs to get more fucking credit. Why aren't we talking about this? All right, 3, 2, 1. Show me. What do we got? Plane, glider, plane, blimp, hot air balloon is the answer. We're looking for hot air bouillon. Hot air bouillon. Question 2. To promote breast cancer awareness in 2010, Elizabeth Hurley helped light 39 landmarks. What color? 45 seconds on the clock. To promote breast cancer awareness in 2010, Elizabeth Hurley helped light 39 landmarks. What color? One, 0. Talk to me, talk to me. Yep. Oh, it's already written. It's already written for you. Don't worry, Julia. It is pink. Good job. Question 3. A cruciverbalist would flip to what part of a newspaper? 45 seconds. A cruciverbalist would flip to what part of a newspaper? Oh, come on, a cruciverbalist. If you don't know, you should be able to get this. I see a lot of people with, I don't know this. I'm not going to make you feel dumb for it, but I think you have everything you need. Jasper, your thumbs up on this, yeah? Okay, we'll see. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. No, not the obituaries, not the cartoons, not the obituaries, but she showed obituaries stronger because someone else wrote it. It is crosswords. Crucifix, cross, cruciverbalist. It was all there. It was all there. It was like watching The Usual Suspects. It was all there. Question 4. What instrument... Oh, no. What instrument... It's so hard to do this sometimes when I turn it into all caps. What instrument family would not typically be found in a marching band? I'm talking about the family instrument, not like the family in The Sound of Music. What instrument family would not typically be found in a marching band? It's funny, when I wrote that, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But then I see it in front of me in capital letters. I go, that's just all sorts of confusing. Like, right, yeah, that's what I don't want you to write. I don't want you to write, I'm looking for a family of instruments. A kind of instrument put into families. Right, that I don't want Von Trapp. I just want it, I want it on the record. If it is an actual family of people, you're wrong. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. It's actually strings, not wind. We're looking for strings. Also, Thumbs up if you call piano a percussion instrument. Thumbs up if you call it a string instrument. I go percussion. All right. Question 5. What's the Spanish word for Wednesday? Question 5. What is the Spanish word for Wednesday? Thumbs up for all of you who have more than 10 points right now. Before this one. We got at least... Well, that's not a thumbs up at all. There we go. Okay. "21 seconds. Good job, Seth. I'm glad you got that one. I can't give you hang glider because hang glider's falling with style. Let's see him. Yep. Miércoles. Question 6. Where? Oh, I should have said. So what continent? What continent? Yeah, that's the way to put it. What continent has the longest continental mountain chain? The problem is the continent part. I got a little. I want to make sure you're answering with a continent. Where's the longest continental mountain chain? 45 seconds. What continent has the longest, I should say, continental mountain chain? The only time I found out something genuinely super cool and interesting about a project I had to write a report on was when I talked about this mountain range in like 4th grade or 7th grade, or I don't know, one of the grades. It was school. Who could remember? 210. Yep. Nope, not North America, it is South America. We're looking for basically all of Chile, the Andes Mountains. And question 7. What U.S. president served the most terms? I want Julia to answer this. Julia, I'm giving you 2 points if you're the one. Julia, was that your mind? Okay. I feel like I'm, for no reason at all, shitting on Julia a lot right now, and I don't mean to. Who served the most terms? Seth, solid answer, 10 points for you. Let's see him. Yep. Oh, that's interesting. You wrote F.D. Roosevelt. You shortened F and D, but decided to write Roosevelt. See, I always write it like this. F. Delano R. That's how I make sure everyone knows who I'm talking about. Thank you. What was it? Oh, that's so good. When I wrote Roosevelt, I meant Polk. Oh no! Question. Oh, she's the best. Question 8. What state's nickname is the Bluegrass State? Whoa. Yep. All right. I know, man. Sometimes you're lucky. You're both lucky and smart. Let's see. The next one, I'm going to go, come on, and see if anybody gets it. No, in fact, I want you to yell, come on, after every single question from now on. 3, 2, 1. What do we got? If you didn't write Kentucky, you got it wrong. It's going to be Kentucky. Kentucky. Kentucky Bluegrass. Kentucky. Did anybody not get it? Wow, and we thought it was so obvious, we here at Trivia Ronin and nobody else. Question 9. What nutritional substance is broken down by bile? There's a good question. It's happening in your body right now. Do you fucking know? Do you fucking pricks know? Sorry. I was muted, right? I like to mute myself when I do that. What nutritional substance is broken down by bile? And by the way, nutritional substance is the right wording. I was surprised, but it is. Let's see them. Bile breaks down not food, not protein, not enzymes, not sugar. Ooh, sugars is the closest answer, and not alcohol. It breaks down fat into fatty acids. That is what bile does. Okay, Casey, go ahead and give yourself, average it out. We'll give both of you a half a point in the negative. Take a half a point away for interrupting. Question 10. Wow. How many U.S. states border the Pacific Ocean? 45 seconds. Wow. There it is. There he is. I hope you write Kentucky again. Yeah, oh, that's, yeah. Would you shut up, man? How many U.S. states border the Pacific Ocean? 3, dos, ichi. 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, and the answer is 5. Unless, of course, we're counting Guam, but we're not. But we do a thing called Wayla. The third round is what are you looking at? It's the visual portion. So the questions are going to be the questions are going to be either what are you looking at or a question about what you're looking at, but also pay attention to the pictures. Sometimes I draw through lines. That's just what you're going to want to know. So that is all I'm going to tell you. Question 1. What brand sneaker are these? "45 seconds on the clock. So pissed about my color temperature versus temperature question. I put so much effort into that question for it to just be like, no, fuck you, bro, and rightfully so. They must always mean red. Right. That makes sense. You wanna, yeah, right. All right, guys, let's see him. 3, 2, 1. Avia. Nope, it is Asics. What brand is this? 45 seconds on the clock. You can make the screen larger. Instead of, if you're on like gallery mode, you can always go into speaker view and see it better. Should be more like sneaker view up top. Thank you. Oh god, the sneakerhead section is absolutely right, Seth. Everybody gets something when they come to Trivia Ronin. I wonder if anybody's going to get this. My guess is I know what people will say if they don't know. 3, 2, 1. What do we got? I don't fucking care. Burberry. We were looking for Burberry. I thought people would say Puma, just guessing. Guys, what brand shoe is this? It's like the most expensive pair of shoes ever made. Certainly the most expensive lately. Those are real diamonds. It was in the news. Man, if there was like one of the women who complain about that there aren't any women-friendly questions, if they could be here right now looking at your faces. Three, two, one. Anybody? Stiletto. We were looking for a brand. Tiffany Louboutin. Coach Red something. They're Jimmy Choos. These are Jimmy Choos. I can't believe even randomly no one went. Hey, Nick. Thank you. What brand is this? However, if you write stiletto for this one, I mean, I might just be generous. Don't do that. Instead, write the answer. I won't be generous. We have so many viewers. Every dad's brand, absolutely. Yep. Hold on. Let me, we should always have like a dial-a-dad. Just a quick... Yeah, I'm going to show you a picture. Thank you. Zero. What do we got? New Balance. I thought it was Nautica. Shit. No. New Balance. What kind of bird is this? It is a... What kind of bird? What kind of... It's named after its bill. It's named after its bill. We've got one team who looks confident. Anybody else confident? No? Joe, you've played Wayla before? Yeah. Gotcha. Cool. All right. Let's see him first. The toucan, the dodo, the longbill, the Bill Cosby, the shoe bill. We were looking for, it is a shoe bill. Because you see what I did there. What's he saying? This is a still from a movie. And right now, that character is yelling in the middle of... He's if you want to know, he's in the last syllable of this line. That's a great... I want the line, but all of it's acceptable as long as I know you know. Derb's on it. Seth's on Derb. That's the way I like it. Two, 1, 0. Yep. 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 Show me the money is the exact pronunciation. Next. What was this program called? I actually considered it, to be honest, but I thought it's too obscure, and I don't want to give you too many points. I think it's just I can't weigh this one so strongly. I tell you what, I'll give 10 points if any of you got Jimmy Choo correctly. Oh yeah, this never made it into anything. This wasn't even on like a channel, like of 3, 2, 1, 0. Yep. Mr. Show. Jasper, no go? Not a Mr. Show guy? I, honest to God, thought you would have been a fan. So I was that one surprises me a little bit. Which American Indian tribe is represented in this picture? Anybody thumbs up on this? Yeah? Because Joe gets it. Yeah. Three, two, one. Yeah. Yeah. Not going to be Cherokee, but it is going to be Shoshone. Did you put Shogun? I was trying to come up with a way to get Shogun into this. It's tough. With an image, it's tough. What had over 1,000 episodes here? What was the name of the program that had 1,000 episodes filmed here? It's like 22 seasons or something. Definitely Jasper got this one, though. Legendary program. Chris? Pud, you're a thumbs up on this, yeah? Danny? Ooh. Zero. What do we got? Yep, that's great. It is Showtime at the Apollo. Showtime at the Apollo. There was a time Gilbert Gottfried hosted Showtime at the Apollo. I want that on the record for all of you to know. What is the name of this gesture? Absolutely not. Everyone knows the accompanying catchphrase. Well, that's worse. I'll start eliminating points. But afterward, if you want to say them, go ahead. 3, 2, 1. I think this is question 10. What do we got? Yep. Yeah. It's the shocker. 3, 2, 1. Earlier we talked about the first manned flight in a hot air balloon. We're going to talk about that first manned flight, the Montgolfier brothers, Etienne and Joseph. Joseph and Etienne were the 12th and 15th children of 16, respectively. They were born into a paper family. Their family owned a paper factory, and they came up on paper. Joseph was the dreamer of the family, and he was sort of like dirty and always trying to live a dream and just whatever. But Etienne was the businessman of the family, and he was one of the youngest, and his father saw in him promise, so he sent him to Paris to learn business. When he was 20 years old, his father died, and he came back to run the paper factory. At this same time, Joseph was like 23, 24, jumping off the house in a makeshift parachute because he was kind of weird and wanted to see if he could fly, but he always had his eyes to the sky, right? So at about 40 years old or so, he starts, he's watching clothes dry, and they had a fire to help the clothes dry, and he notices the clothing right next to the fire, when the smoke hits it, they would billow up into the air, and he thought that was very interesting. Now, people knew heat rises, and they knew that air moves like fluid. Galileo had long since made that a thing, but Joseph was watching this, and he was kind of dumb. He didn't have no schooling, so he said, I suspect there must be a gas inside of smoke that rises and pushes stuff like that, and he called it Montgolfier gas. And it doesn't exist, it's not a thing, but he wanted to be the first one in case it was. But he had an idea that there could be manned flight, and why is it important? Because at this time, almost all inventions were for military purposes, because it was still a really important thing to be able to destroy things. And one thing that happened, I mean, now it's like 80 years prior, the French and Spanish lost the fortress at Gibraltar. So that's a really big deal, because that has changed hands several times. The Moors, the Spanish, the British. The British have it in this moment, and the French want it back. And he says, well, we can't go by land, and we can't go by sea. What if I could harness this Montgolfier gas to be able to drop on an air raid, which the fortress has no defense over? So he develops a balloon, and it's basically an envelope. And he goes to his brother, again, they're like 40 years old at this point, and he goes and knocks on the office door at Montgolfier Paper, and he says, hey, why don't you and I partner up? I'm gonna need some paper. And his brother says, that's crazy, I have paper, we're a paper company, you know that? And he goes, yeah, no, that's why I'm here. Anyway, so he takes a bunch of taffeta and makes a giant balloon. It's 500 pounds because he lines it with paper so Montgolfier gas can't get out. He takes it into the town in June of 1783. Sorry, I had to get those right. In June of 1783, he takes it into the middle of Annonay, I think. Sorry. Annonay, France. Yeah. He takes it into Annonay, and he puts it over top of a fire, and the smoke goes into it, and it lifts it like a weather balloon 6,000 feet into the air. It's a huge success, and no one thought it was going to be able to get off the ground. So he and Etienne are sitting there, and they go, we have to show the king. That's what we're gonna take over Gibraltar. So nobody has ever been in the air at this point. He goes to the king, and the king says, all right, we're going to send a human up with this thing. It's King Louis XVI and his wife are just like a really big fan of this idea. And he says, we're going to send a human, but we're going to send a prisoner, because if they die, they die. And the Montgolfiers say, actually, we have an idea. We don't want the first human in travel in the air to be a prisoner. So instead, can we use a sheep, a duck, and a chicken? And the reason they used a sheep, a duck, and a chicken is because a sheep is a land animal, a duck is a bird of flight, and a chicken is a bird on land. And they felt like science, that's a good way to create a control for how it would affect human beings. Would the duck be affected by going up in the air? Would the chicken? Would the sheep? So, 130,000 people show up to this demonstration. They fill it, they put the animals in the basket, the balloon goes up, it travels for 8 minutes and goes 2 miles over top of Paris and into a field and comes to the ground, and there's the unhurt, a duck, a chicken, and a sheep. Just like, I guess we're ready for, now this is in August, just a couple months later. So, Louis says, okay, huge success. Before anyone else does this, we need to get a Frenchman in the air. And Etienne and Joseph were like, it's our invention. And he goes, nah, you're too important. If there needs to be any changes, we can't let anything bad happen to you. They basically became the first Houston, like NASA. You know, you're not allowed up there. We'll send some fucking schmo. So they get this chemistry teacher by the name of Rosier. And Rosier and a military officer get signed up for November of 1783. They're going to go up in the first balloon. So they make this balloon. They don't use paper. They use alum to keep the heat out. They design, it's beautiful. It's blue. It's got suns on it because Louis XVI was the Sun King. They put the zodiac signs on it. They put actual gold leaf on it. It's like this beautiful thing, right? They get Rosier. They get the military man, and they go up, and this is an even like way bigger success than they were expecting. It's in the air for 25 minutes. They it goes 5.5 miles, and they had room, or they had enough fuel for 5 times the flight. But the problem was, because he still believed it was the smoke lifting it, they were sending smoky, like they were lighting branches on fire and shit, and it was sending a lot of debris up into this balloon, and the alum was starting to catch. So they had to let it down, and they had to put out the fire, and they slowly came back to the earth. But again, a gigantic, gigantic success. Now, what happened to Rosier? Rosier said, well, I can do this better with hydrogen. Hydrogen in a balloon. And he thought, I can do this with hydrogen. And he, the first man to make it into air, was also the first man to fall out of the air and die, because in his own balloon it exploded, and that would never happen again. That hydrogen would ignite in a balloon. And he became the first person who died. By the way, when they landed that, after going over Paris, he and the military man, they toasted champagne. That's still done today whenever people get out of a hot air balloon. It's still practice, regular practice, to toast champagne in honor of that moment. So, that is the history of the very first manned flight. It was a major, major deal, and immediately that became old hat, because we started using other things for flight. We started experimenting with gliders and planes and everything. And you wonder, did they ever take Gibraltar? They didn't. They never even used it. It was only ever considered a hobby. Like, let's see how far we could go. People have gone around the world on one balloon trip without touching the ground now. But for military use, in the Civil War, it actually was a huge deal, because George Washington heard about this thing, and he brought a guy over who was the first one across the English Channel in a balloon, and he said, I want to see this thing in action. So Americans still remembered that when it came time for the Civil War, and the Union actually sent up this guy, this American, he was a Frenchman, sent him up into the air during the Civil War to look out many miles, like 6 miles, and they could see if there was an approaching army, Confederate army. And that guy is now, I didn't write his name, he's known as the person in the Civil War who was shot at more than anyone else, because he gave them a huge advantage, seeing when anybody was coming at all times. My question to you, 2 questions. 1, who was the American ambassador to France, who was at the launch of Rosier, his very first time, the first one in flight? In 1783, the American ambassador to France was a famous American, and he wrote, "We could not help feeling a certain awe and admiration about the moment." So what famous American was the French, or the American ambassador to France in 1783? And for the second question, with 45 seconds on the clock, both of these, who was the wife of Louis XVI? Both are people you know. Sorry, I'm starting the timer now. I don't know why that happened. No. You get 10 points for each one you get right. Super Scope, welcome. I'm glad you don't know either of these. You're going to learn something. 10 points per answer. Welcome to story at the end of trivia. I'd give you the question, but it took me 7 minutes to tell it. 1783, who was the French ambassador, or the American ambassador to France, and who was Louis XVI's wife? 3, 2, 1. Talk to me. Yeah, yep, yes. Wow, everybody, strong. Bravo. I'll be damned. Yes, it is Ben Franklin and Marie Antoinette. Really great. I didn't think people would get both of those. So I'm glad. I mean, most of you did, in fact. But with a score of like 47 or something ridiculous. 47. Big round of applause for Pud. Bringing it home. Guys, stick around on Twitch or come back. I'm glad you're following, but you got here right at the ass end, Bolts TV and Super Scope. Lovely to have you. All right, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for your support as we try to grow this experience. It's totally in the script to say that. Doesn't make it any less true. For all of us here at Trivia Ronin, I'm Douglas Larl. I'm saying don't be shitty, and I do really hope you learned something.